How are we going, everyone? It's that time of year, folks, where we clean up our summer garden if you haven't done so already, because some of us just taking our time a little bit longer than usual. Now, oh bugger, look at this. I was going to show you, well, I am going to show you harvesting the cucumber seeds and some tomatoes, because a few of you are not quite sure what to do. So I thought, well, let's do a quick little segment. Now, by the time we did this segment, this one fell to the ground. I might eat this. It's not quite ripe, overripe that is. So this one's still good. Well, not is, and it's half gone. But the one that I actually do want to harvest is this one here. See this here? That's the colour you want it to be on a cucumber. That's completely ripe. Now you can leave it up there till it dehydrates, meaning the plant, once it actually dies off completely, no more sap's flowing through, this will start to lose its moisture in it and eventually rot away, fall to the ground, and whatever seeds are left inside, which will still be in good quality and intact, will germinate. But rather than allowing them to fall down to the ground and germinate, we're going to harvest the seeds off these and show you what to do with them. Real simple stuff. But there's another thing I want to do. One second, here's one here. Many of you probably experienced this before, a rotting capsicum on the plant, whether there was a slug or caterpillar in it, like this one here. Sucked in. It's not a caterpillar. I even had him looking at this going, is that a caterpillar? It's actually a little baby. It's grown on its own. So, but that got you full, didn't it? Come here. Here's another one. This is another example of seed harvesting, nature's way. This is what we're doing here. Some people buy seeds from our website, some people buy them from garden centres and stores, and others get them straight out of the garden. Oh, look at this. They're rotting away. So that means we're going to have little cherry tomatoes or tomatoes. See the seeds inside there? Birds come along and open that up. Now that's okay, they'll dehydrate, dry out from the sun, or we can just turn them around like that and bury them and get a little surprise next springtime. And some of you may not have tomatoes. Well, lucky me, finally harvesting a big malacca. Can you believe that? It's all discoloured because of the cold weather, so it's affecting the colour of the fruit. And I didn't bring secateurs, and my hands are full of fruit and veggies. Here we go, we got it. So we're going to harvest the seed out of this one as well. Come along. All right, let's get into it. Oh, we'll see about that one, but that one definitely. Now here, we've got a capsicum that's rotting on the plant, and there was one that's fallen to the ground, okay? So we've got babies growing inside, but that's really bad there. That messy stuff there, you want all that to dehydrate and become what this has become. So when you're drying out your capsicums, you can dry them out to this point. Now you'll find inside the membrane will protect if there's any seeds left in here. And I should have put my glasses on. Did I bring them? Or our seeds? Here we are. There are seeds there. I'm just going to wipe them on the bench. This is a really messy way of doing it, and this is the way the lazy gardener would do it. Basically, forget about your seed harvest. Let nature just rot it out. They're in here, but I just can't get to them. Bugger me. They're in here. Apparently, they're still on my fingers. Are they still on there? No? Gone? Okay. Well, they're the seeds there, folks. So you can let them rot out like this, and they will germinate if you leave them in the ground, and obviously if you harvest the seed as well. But here's a fresh one, so you don't all start cringing every time you see me grabbing a rotting capsicum. Here are your seeds, if you want to be special about it. Pull that around, and you just leave that as it is intact. You don't pull them off that, just leave them like that. Store them in a paper bag if you like. Let them dry out properly. They've still got their membrane on them. It's nothing like a tomato, which I'm going to show you shortly. And there, every single one of those, almost every single one of those will be viable seeds, which you can then store in a little jar and plant into the garden next springtime, or sow them to grow in springtime. So there are your capsicums. You've got 1,000 seeds in there. Well, not 1,000, but it feels like that. Now, if you were to buy a packet of those, $5. If you want to buy a cheap packet of those, $3, and probably half of them won't even germinate. Maybe none of it will germinate. So price doesn't depict that. It's who the company is that grows them. So let's do the cucumber next. Now the cucumber's got large seeds. We all know that. We've seen them plenty of times. You can cut it right down the middle like this. I didn't go all the way down. And then, there you go, folks. Smorgasbord of seeds. Have a look at that. Now some of them won't be viable, and you'll find those that are non-viable will be hollow inside, whereas others will be nice and thick. So that one there, I can tell already is not viable, but there's a lot in here. So it's a hit and miss with the cucumber sometimes, but to get them out, just use a little spoon, and I'm just using a paper towel to put them on. Now, you can do a couple of things once you've collected all the seeds. Look at all these seeds. Look at all these seeds. Now these are, I've forgotten, he gave me the seeds. This is Marianthy's father out in Dandenong North. He brought these seeds back from Greece in his underwear. I'm not sure how long ago, but he's still here with us. He hasn't been locked up. Look, it's been many years, but these have been coming on. Look, he's not the first to do it, and obviously not the first one to create the idea of bringing seeds from overseas. Now, all you need to do with these is literally leave them on a paper towel like that, not out here in the sun, obviously, somewhere in the shade, and allow them to air dry naturally. Don't put them in a dehydrator, don't put them in the oven. You're not going to bake them and make them into a crisp. Just let them dry out on their own, and then later on you can just peel them off the paper. You don't have to peel them off because you can actually plant them with the paper if you want to plant them like that, because that will decompose and become a food source for the microbes. So now, if you don't like the messy paper towel thing like that, because they will stick to the lint of the paper towel, you can use baking paper, and that's what I use for my tomatoes when I harvest my seeds from them. This year I haven't done a big harvest. I don't think I've done a harvest at all, actually. This is my first one. Well, that's only because I haven't been around. I've been too busy looking after everybody else's garden. I've only just come back into my garden, so stay tuned, because I've got the helpers here. My minions have just turned up. You can't see them, but they're there, and there's one over there, and there's obviously one holding the camera there. They're giggling. Anyway, so tomatoes, always get your favourite sort of healthiest tomato. I know it's out of season, folks. Actually, no, it's not only about the Victorians, okay, in the cold climate where we are. It's also Queensland and New South Wales up far north, where the temperature's a lot hotter there, a more humid environment, where they grow tomatoes in autumn, winter. So for you guys up there who are growing your tomatoes and picking them, pick your strongest and healthiest fruit off your plant, not too high, because I remember the fella down the road, I've forgotten his name, said to me, if you pick a tomato from up the top of the tomato plant, that's where the first tomato is going to set on the tomato plant. I can't believe that, but anybody who's tried it or going to try it, let me know, keep me posted on it. So it's normally around the bottom, if not the first group of or clusters of flowers, it'll be the second one, but a big, strong, healthy, juicy one. This is one that I've just got left growing on the tomatoes over there. Now, you don't collect the seed from the entire fruit. You can if you want to. I've done it in the past. They are viable, but your better and healthier and stronger seeds are from the middle line down. So we're going from the bottom half of the tomato plant, folks. This is what the inside of a big malacca looks like. All right? Very different to your typical ones you get at your supermarket shelves. They've only got 4 chambers in them, and they've got what they call pulp and something that looks like skin on the outside. Now with these ones here, you can just squeeze, see that? Just squeeze them out. See how they just all jump out for joy because they're ready to populate. Well, obviously they're out of season, but this is what we do. Now, with a tomato, there's a hell of a lot more pulp on the seed, and that's okay if you want to leave it on because it will still be viable, and it's a protective coating on the seed, so it doesn't die off or dehydrate or gets attacked, so it's like a shield around it. A little bit of a feed there as well, I suppose. So that's the idea. Then you crack it open, depending on the variety of tomato you're using. You can use a knife like I am here, or a little spoon, a teaspoon. Now with the pulp, I don't mind the mess with the pulp here. If you don't like it, what I do, if there's too much of it, is get yourself a sieve, sit it in the sieve, and we use in the back of your hand. I'm not going to demonstrate it here, so imagine I've got a sieve. They're all sitting in there. Pretend my hand's the sieve, the seeds are in there. I'm running it under water, a soft spray apply of water, not a hard pressure one, and then with the back of your hand, just rub gently on top of the seeds and you'll feel them just rolling around inside the sieve, and slowly but surely you'll get rid of most of the pulp that's on there. Because if you do leave it on like this, when it comes to them dehydrating, you'll find it'll be really leather-like. It'll almost be like a bit of beef jerky trying to separate the seeds, because that pulp becomes really leathery. So wash off as much of it as you can. Don't dehydrate them. like the packet of seeds you find from those F1 hybrids that have been treated and washed till an inch of their life. You want some pulp left on there. That will protect it. It'll store well. It'll last you a lot longer, meaning years to come. So here's the analogy. You're walking outside the house, you dress well, beautiful weather, you're nice and comfortable, you can hang out all day. But in Victoria, the 4 seasons in one, if you're wearing a short sleeve and shorts, if it plummets to 4 degrees, all of a sudden, because it can do that, you'll freeze. You've got no coating on you. But if you've got the extra luggage of clothes like we all travel around in Victoria, we've got our spring, summer, autumn, winter clothes packed with us because we just don't know what's going to happen through the course of the day, you can quickly change. Well, with these, leaving the pulp on there, it's the protection coating so that they do not suffer those, environmental factors or those microclimates around them, and they will last you more than a year, 2 years or 3 years. And I've kept seeds for at least 7, 8 years, the same seed, meaning not year after year collecting. I collected the seeds in 2015, planted them in 2023, and they've all germinated because I left the pulp on. No dusting on them, no fungicides on them, no nothing. Nature's own protective coating. So that's your tomato seeds. Put them on some paper towels, but I prefer the baking paper because it's a lot easier to take them off. That's because I leave a lot of pulp on there. So back to the cucumber, folks. This is ripe. If I was to leave it on there for any longer, basically what will happen is the flesh on the outside will dehydrate and nature itself will allow the seed to stay viable inside there. So it'll draw whatever juices are left in this. So you can leave it intact until you're ready to harvest. But if you find it starting to decay or rot away, that means the fungi has actually kicked into gear and it's eating its way through it because it's a healthy little piece of vegetable there. You want to harvest it, take the seeds out, otherwise the seeds may get affected as well. So whilst it's strong and intact like that and you store it, make sure you roll it around as well, because as gravity has it, the moisture inside will sit to the bottom, and that's when the bacteria or the fungi will start to kick in and destroy it. So roll it around and causes the moisture to fall back down again, and roll it around. Otherwise, take the seeds out, as I have here, which are very viable, and there's plenty in there. Out of 1,000 seeds, even if I get a 10%, even if I get 5% strike rate, how many am I going to grow in one season? So grow your best veggies, collect your seeds, and the best part about this, it's not the money, it's not the $3 or $5 that you're saving, it's the fact that if you've had a successful season growing vegetables or flowers, whatever they are, and they've been able to produce a viable seed for you, that seed for the next generation, that offspring is going to be just as strong, if not better than the season before, providing the weather behaves. So you've acclimatized your plants, you've trained them to grow like your little babies, and they will perform for you as you want them to, without all that extra tender loving care that you need to give them as a new plant that's first journeyed into your garden. Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com. We've got plenty of seeds online, and remember the planting mix, clean skin bags, we're clearing them out, we're nearly at the tail end of them, so get your orders in on those to take advantage of those great specials before the label bags come out, and more importantly, the reward points for all of you out there, and there's thousands of you out there, unfortunately for us, because we have to make the transition and we want to make it as smoothly as possible, and I'm referring to the new website platform. We can't hand over the reward points to the new website, so we're asking you to get online, check out how many reward points you have available still, and take advantage, use them all up. There's no limit on how many you use at any one transaction. If you've got 200 reward points, knock them out, get them out of the way so you can enjoy the great specials using those reward points. It's vasilisgarden.com, every day at great prices with real gardens, real people and real food. From me, Vasili, Maresi.
Maresi, I like it.